will be going in towards this game, which is going to be an interesting thing. Something I want to note.
ตัวแบ่งไม่อยู่แล้วอะตัวแบ่งไม่อยู่
on Lotus when they've not adopted to the new meta in switching to the Neon as opposed to the Raze, which is why FULLSENSE have swapped John Olsen from Raze in towards Neon on this. I like it. We also saw a lot from Lotus from Justice for Tomorrow against Rapid Lo-Fi. I thought Merza was a really pivotal player when it came to that series, so I'm hoping that he has a from Ascent.
Absolutely, really quiet one when you need him to be relied upon, but ultimately, you know, JFT means they can try a little bit of extra strategy and see how it goes, but for now it's just a lean towards that.
And Merza, I mean, one of the things that he was brilliant in the other day was
map
specifically around A. Dark covers can go down from Say, and then they can start to proceed into the A side.
Absolutely, they're going to go in nice and quick.
กินเข้าไปแต่ยังไม่หมดเลย
It'll be a little bit of an orb approach, but then they'll reconvene. And he's straight in there, trying to take this additional control. He's already got the back of side, so they've cleared out well. But on the back of that bruise, it is going to fade in just a second, Komodo.
Double flank as well. Say has to be really careful.
Absolutely. He's right in position, and this is going to be the potential opener. If he can get this initial pick, that's massive. Already taken the control, so Merza finding another one in the process as well. Leviathan looking for the trade, only does the damage onto one, so Say down. They traded out well, and Sushi Boys is able to get at least one back as they move it towards the side here, but they have to continue to wrap in. They're not quite onto the defuse just yet. Fox moves through, gets one, but he's still healthy. He's still with this secured, so okay, the trade
throw your mind back over towards Ascent, right? It was the first half
Hello, Sammy.
JFT with the pistol round on that defensive side, switching it up here, and there's immediately the same kind of game plan employed as we saw last time against Rapid Lo-Fi. As I said, let Merza lurk around the map, call the audible if we need to rotate in, get a plant, clear the site, get deep first. For JFT that they do make sure that they are clearing the sites, because if you flip it over, FULLSENSE, Mitch, they're going to be loving
Absolutely. Works out super well for them. Can lean into a little bit of extra confidence, but right now they just want to make sure they connect with this next round. They can't let any of this previous, what we saw on the last map of the attacker side, just sort of fall aside.
จอโซวี่ดีกว่าจออื่นไงครับ
FULLSENSE have again gathered over
จอโซวี่ดีกว่าจออื่นตรงที่มันมี
อะไรวะ started hit already 3 players here.
Straight on in. Rotation is there as you mentioned, so it's going to be a tough one for them to get this spike planted. Get the flash out, or he's sliding in. John Olsen does get the trade, which is pretty massive. My God, the right click. Leviathan kicking and screaming his team in towards it, but that relay bolt from John Olsen was perfection.
I mean, the brilliance from them as well, just to recognize once they've got mound control, over towards the A side and actually contest JFT before they even get the plant down, right? You've got John Olsen who can throw in those relay bolts to buy time for his team to get in, and then when you've got stunned opponents and they're in a dark cover, you to just push in like that. That's really rough for JFT, but for FULLSENSE, I mean, we want to see them destroy in this series, right? Final against SVG.
SVG, such a strong and fierce opponent, playing really sort of complex Valorant, I suppose.
ใช่โซวี่มันมีแดกครับแดกมันโกงจริงไหม
Second half of this first map,
แตก
they already seem to have it brought through here on Lotus.
มีดูดได้เด้
The mound at the moment is just absolutely a destruction on these pistols for JFT, which is fine. You know, at the end of the day, Mitch, it is pistols as the approach from FULLSENSE, right? On the back of the turret, you've got the alarm bot there as well, but you've got the shot.
จะมีแผนไปโรลลิ่งราวไหมครับไม่มีเลยครับดูไลน์อัพแล้วไม่ค่อยชอบเท่าไหร่เลย
FULLSENSE is what we're going to have to see, because one of the biggest differences that we're going to see where both teams run the Omens, PDC on the Astra versus Merza on the Clove, you have to be a little bit more autonomous as Merza to find the space yourself, but for PDC, he can kind of just help his team from afar. That's one of the brilliances that I love the way that they actually adopted, because PDC, the difference in the KO, where he's protecting his team and helping his team in amongst the fight, he goes for generally more of a laid-back approach when it comes to this map, and I think for FULLSENSE, he needs to be a little bit more laid-back.
Absolutely, now straight in. So they're going to change this.
มีเรื่องความหลังมันมีเลยครับ
Olsen up already nice and close. Does manage to get away from there as well, so it's going to be okay. The high gear gets him in and out at the same time.
ฝั่งหนึ่งเล่น2 สโมกฝั่งหนึ่งเล่น2ทีนี้ครับ
Oh, well, it settle down completely.
แต่ตัวเองแต่ไม่เรียนวันนี้
จัสเวลาตัวเราตายเราสามารถเห็นเป้าเพื่อนที่เล่นได้อยู่ใช่ไหมครับพอเลยขอลิงก์เป้าเพื่อนหน่อยมันส่งมาให้พอเปิดมันเป็นรูปหางผมแทบบ้า
This is what we're expecting from FULLSENSE. Exactly right. Gun round.
เราคือไงเป้าใหญ่ไหมน้อง
Two members stuck, Say and Andy, all the way
จ
back
บแล้วเหี้ย
down, and they're both taken down. And
อีทีมออสครับใช่ครับ
FULLSENSE
ออส
makes
ครับ
me already almost want to call GG.
I mean, when you're taking space around both sides.
โซวิแต่โซวิมันดีกว่าจริงครับโซวิมาตรฐานมันดีกว่าอีนัทจิวดีครับ
You're getting some info. You're not getting some info.
ลินวินนะอ๋อพี่ว่าใครชนะพี่ว่าลินวะ
Well, you're not letting JFT coordinate with themselves and how to adapt immediately because they're dying left, right, and center. They're not able to situate their own
นี่ครับ
utility
ไอโอเมนเนี่ย
Merza, this is
เซ
a
อะ
very
JFT
punishment
เซ
onto
เซ
him for
เซ
something that was
อี
very
อะเซอะ
successful for JFT against Rapid Lo-Fi. He's spreading around the map, right?
He's
You look to compare that against how Prodigy was playing as well, getting into the duels, getting all these smokes on out. You just can't contest against this haste from FULLSENSE right
มึง
now.
เล่นโคตรดีเลยนะเว้ย
Quick, but again,
ทีม
you're
ที่แล้วอะ
exactly right.
มึง
Just
เสือก
denying
ออก
that
งง
position.
ว่ะ
They can't find anything
ไม่เข้าใจ
from this eco. A little bit of a tag on John Olsen. Just trying to keep onto something, but has to pop the high gear again to get out. Andy, okay, he'll find him. That's a vandal inside the dark
เอเว
cover.
โหสุดในแรงในการแข่งครั้งนี้ไหมครับไม่ครับ
Overdrive actually if they wanted to settle down for a second and then go in together.
พอมีวิธีปัญหาแก้ปัญหาตื่นมาแล้วไม่ชินเซ็ตไหมครับแบบเมื่อวานยังยิงครบตื่นมาวันนี้หันมาไม่ไปเอ้ย
Watching B, so they've covered every single base around the map.
Yeah.
พักผ่อนไม่พอหรือเปล่า
Like a complete choke off, right? You know, you get this
การ
advantage
ดูFULLSENSE เหรอ
where the rest of the map
ทัวร์หญิงเริ่มเดือนหน้าต้นเดือน
territory.
ทัวร์หญิงอ่ะเดี๋ยวจัดดูอยู่สองสโมกสองอย่างนี้จะว่าด่านนี้อะไรดีกว่า สองสโมกและสองอย่างนี้ แต่FULLSENSEเล่นหนึ่งอย่างนี้เพราะอะไรเพราะมีนีออนครับนีออนมีตันอีกกันหนึ่งแค่นั้นเลยแตกนะ อุ้ย
Okay, what's this clear going to look like? Pick up from Ramen. Looking like they're getting back into the map so far. Leviathan
แต่
is
ทาง
going to
ข
get
อง
spotted out by the Nightfall.
JP เล่น2สโมก2อย่างนี้ไม่มีตัวกันหลัง
It's going to get hard cleared by the position, but Saints
โดน
actually able to
Echo
find one in the process. So they're going to
ไอ้
survive.
แท้
for a
Echo
little
อะครับ
bit. Still the advantage 4 versus 2, but the weapons are there for PTC and Sushi Boys.
หรือว่ายัง
Going to make it really, really tough. Sushi Boys drop Andy. That's a pivotal member going down here. Looking for a second. He'll get it, but Ikana will be able to get the trade. But onto this fight user is PTC.
โอ้ย
Swing on.
PTC มึงอ่ะไปยิงตัวหลังเหรอ
Word.
มึงบ้าเปล่า
In there from PTC on to save, but luckily Akana can get the trade in JFT. They can breathe a sigh of relief for just a moment.
Massive
here!
scrap on the B site, right? You've got John Olsen who loses his life early. You've got Andy to lead the charge in towards the B site. Once the plan actually finally gets down, you then have to contend with the flank. So it's a really heads-up play for them to not only push up towards the heavens, but to also have the wraparound as well. If that actually doesn't come out from Say, I don't think that round goes to JFT because they don't have a priority focus on making sure that Sushi Boys' flank isn't coming through.
ไปคีแล้วกลับมาเปลี่ยนตัวไม่ทันก็ไม่น่าเกี่ยวมันนั่งอยู่ตรงโค้ชอะ
As I said now, at least
ตัวหลังหัวโยกเยี่ยตกใจเลยอะหันไปยิงตัวหลัง
looks
เนี่ย
like there is still going to be that full control though from FULLSENSE sent out long. You know, whilst they're not
ผมรอมา13ชั่วโมงเลยนะอันนี้แปลกเลยเราเล่นไม่พอหรือเปล่ามันรู้สึกไม่ชินนะ
Different look to it.
ต้องเล่นเยอะนะเว้ย
is no longer
เล่นเยอะแบบเล่น
established
เยอะ
for
จริงๆมันถึง
FULLSENSE.
จะเริ่มชิน
They
นะ
do have a bit of a backup strategy over there with PDC. Got some set util. Does have that cosmic divide available, but most importantly, they can stall for a lot of time here together. And they even managed to find the open, and that's the lockdown
เฮ้ย
available.
อะไรอะเกิดเอาอะไรเยอะแยะไปหมดเลยเนี่ยเหี้ย
as well. I think that was the metal going in, making them a little bit uncomfortable. But Sushi Boys
ชีแม่งตัวแบบล็อกดาวน์จัดเลยอะ
they get in kind of halfway, and then they have to pull out straight away.
There's great leaning around the map from FULLSENSE, man. Like, when they're not getting mount control, they're getting rubble control immediately.
อัตราแผ่นสีออฟอยู่ครับมันยังไม่ได้อัปเดตใหม่ครับ
starts to
อัป
come
เดตเก่า
down
อยู่
to the site, punishing Say with
อันนี้ออสเตรเลียเจอไทยครับออสเตรเลียเจอไทย
very well
พูดเหมือน
coordinated
บอลเลยออสเตรเลีย
and
เจอ
how
ไทย
they're mounting their retakes and
ชอบ
how
อ่ะ
they're gathering control around the map, just like they did on Ascent. It was brilliant from them.
จังหวะนี้ครับออสเตรเลียครับวิ่งเข้ามาเจอเทเลตเอาไปถึงต้องถอยออกไปครับกองหน้าจะทำยังไงสู้ไม่ไหวครับ
Look at the hesitation.
ต้องบอกเลยว่ากองหลังของทางFULLSENSEนี่เหนียวจริง
They know there's two members on towards the site. B's locked down. They've
ได้
already
นะ
isolated all of these choke points.
แต่หรือว่า
FULLSENSE.
แข่งนี้เขาไม่อดีให้หรือเปล่าไม่ชัวร์เหมือนกันไม่รู้ว่าสิทันเป็นไงวะ
How are you getting back in towards this
Sushi
seaside
main
at the
jet ไหมครับ
moment?
ไม่ใช่
Yeah,
ครับ
Moza has two smokes, Ramen has a
Same
fault
lady.
line, but I
กลัว
think you
กลัว
just have to save these
Yeah.
guns.
คือมึงตื่นมาแล้วรอดูพิจารวันเลยตื่นทัน1 เพิ่งแบบ2เอง
Oh
This is the
man,
round.
it's a shame, isn't it?
อุ้ย
Yeah, not really able to go for it at all.
อ๋อเมอร์ซ่ามาเล่นเจ็ดรอบที่แล้วนี่หว่า
Save too, because I think Sushi Boys, he was so confident after the previous, he can even potentially look for the ace, but no. He'll get 3. That's still pretty solid. Ramen and Akana do get 1 back, but Ramen is the only one to live away in that round right now, and just how quickly most of these rounds have gone.
จุด3ที่ได้800แชมป์ไปรู้สึกว่ามันเลยไปทำไงดีครับ เปลี่ยนสิครับลดลง
I mean, the difference is saving
Za,
time
Khotun
into this
Za.
match as well. You would have been able to back it up
Khotun
for a pretty
Za.
strong buy. So really heads up play from Sushi Boys at the ends there to hunt for the frags, to swing open the door as well. Not only a full
No,
set
Khotun
control
Za.
around the map, but they're making sure that they are kind of pushing JFT into uncomfortable scenarios. No overdrive to play here, so it's a haphazard buy, relying on potential open.
สั่งข้าวยังจะกินซีเรียลอ่ะข้าวค่อยสั่งนะ
He is absent, it's just a turret.
Straight in this time. The confidence that they've got on this eco, already taking control of Breakable. Happy to get in towards position. Spike is going to be planted now.
Sủi.
But comes out
Mới
very,
sủi.
very quickly. Andy will be able to find the one. Let's try and swap it out. Not going to be able to find the weapon though on the other side. It's awkward here.
Merza is watching flank as well, but you've got to set up towards this lockdown now.
They can just buy time here.
Hey.
They don't have to go in for it. Rahman's position is absolutely
Hey,
fantastic,
ba.
but he's making footsteps now. I don't know how far he's going to be able to go
Hey.
towards this position. Does he just stay in, or does he hold off for a little longer? Rolling Thunder also going as well.
Oi.
You're exactly right. They're onto it, but he's been denied. Taken off it, but in the process, PTC find another couple, and that's actually going to be another
Bomb it,
one
bomb
to
it,
go out.
bomb it.
They're contesting one inside the smoke, inside the position, and it's kill. Going the way of Merza. They do get another one here inside the scrap JFT.
แฝดจากกบฏมาตัวแรกไงตัวแรกไม่ได้ยิง
Brawling Jules is what's taking their advantage this
ตัวแรก
way.
มีเอ็มยิง
Backwards and forwards game plans. Like, you're taking heaven space, you're losing over towards C-Link space where the lockdown is, but you're giving a bit of
เรียน
respect
จาน
to
ถ
it
นน
as
มาดิครับ
well.
โอ้พ่อ
Great play
มึง
from Andy to
ฟูล
not
แฟด
only
อิว
just
อ่ะ
find the kill in towards the breakable door room, but also to just stay there and hold his teammates' hands when the defuse then starts to come through with the cosmic divide.
ลุงโจมียังครับยังเลยครับพี่จานจะไลฟ์24 ชั่วโมงไหมครับแข่งกับหมูเด้ง
Sure you get the round, and yeah, you invest the rolling thunders. But
ความที่จะว่าฟูลเซนได้ไปเวิลด์ไหมไม่ต้องบอกได้ไปลีกไหม
chink in the economy.
ลีก
That's,
เออ
Full-Sense.
ก็มีกลัวให้
Look at
NPG
this,
ไหม
we've got
กลัว
also
ทีม
the
NPG
complete
ไหม
shift up onto that neon operator that we saw
Mấy
do
thập
so
tổn,
much damage
tuổi.
in the competition, because you just don't expect it, right? You don't expect a deep line to be taken that early, especially not having the support from Sushi Boys.
Yeah. How do you adapt now, though? That
จานจะ
you've
พูดอะไร
just
จานเมีย
said?
เมื่อกี้ลืมอ่ะ
Kind of immediately. I mean, you're looking for that
Whatever.
kink in the economy. You're looking for the breaking of the armors. You're looking for the off-put of positions, and you do have Merza still with those ruses. Yeah, for sure. Immediately-
โอ้ย
Full sense. It's coming to see.
Absolutely. They've managed to at least reposition John Olsen, because now it's such an awkward line to try and
Oh,
hold the nut.
shit.
Ball goes out. He's
Ding
missed a
mới
couple of shots. He's traded.
แต่งร่างโคตรเร็วเลยเฮีย
Is going to be the not dead
เยียนมากตายปุ๊บกดปั๊บเลยสัตว์แล้วมันเร็วจังวะ
Alive. 3 versus 2. Still awkward. PTC. He's done so much damage. It's going to be onto Rama to try and find him here. And he will be able to run.
Oh.
Needs to find more. And he gets another. This is
I
the
leave it
impact
hang on,
that
hey.
we're looking for from this man. The bowl of noodles. He's making it all work here. But Leviathan's positioning.
Timing,
Could be overlooked,
timing,
Komodo. They're
timing,
gonna
timing.
this fight. They should be surely aware of it. They're going to be looking.
Oh, not
Is it
deal,
gonna be a swing
no.
from Ramen? The shrouded step goes out. He's going to try and get off this position. He's looking for the clear. They're both so low. They're both just wings away from dying.
เฮียไอ้ยืนเจอหน้าดิ
Depths of the ocean. He will strike when he's
อันนี้แม่บุกครับแม่บุกครับ
when he is called upon.
Man, he has had such a great showing.
ไม่ดูมันเหมือนทั้งสอง
These
คนเลยอะตอน
to be
ยิง
able
กัน
to
อะ
try and get them over the line, but when you need him to come through to bring a little bit of the stability, I mean, a 1 versus 2 against those
แต่
players.
งร่างโคตรเร็วอ่ะใช่ปะ
on the
เฮ้ย
chaos that
มันเร็วไปปะ
in the beginning of this round again, right? Full sense have the right equipment on this C site. They have
นาย
the
พันนัด
right
แรกเลย
numbers
นะ
laid down here, but for JFT to just balls to the wall, go in towards the site, play in amongst the scrap because Merza has the not dead yet. Leviathan keeping cool, calm, and collected.
โอ้ยโอ้ยโอ้ยสไลด์โชว์สไลด์โชว์สไลด์โชว์
Round on the board.
Into position again. It's this quick approach. Seems to be the response that's been working out for JFT so far.
เอ
It's
อ
going against them, but they're just going to be making very, very sure that they're not getting tapped away through these smokes.
Well, that should actually bring
What?
Leviathan's clutch percentage up,
What?
nearing our scoreboard leader so far in Persia. You can keep coming out with them. It's definitely an avenue to overwhelm JFT. I mean, push for those retakes if you want. It might actually happen again, but numbers are here for full sense. Stolen utility
To
though.
shock, yeah. It's just able to hold them back
Wait.
a little bit longer, but now Andy's in. It's going to be
Hey,
such
hey,
a
hey, hey, hey.
Here, 1, 2, will it be a third? Not necessary.
Hey!
But Leviathan, he's still alive, Komodo. Now it's onto the clutch position. Sushi Boys has the operator. He's so far away. Andy does have the spike in hand, in tow. He should be able to find the position here.
เนี่ยเขาเล่น
He's gonna
ตึง
go.
ๆ
He's
ยาก
gonna
จัด
drop
จริง
back in, try and pick up a Vandal here. There's plenty of time to set this one down, but he's so nervous, so cautious. Sushi Boys in the
โอ้
clutch.
มึงบ้าแล้วน่ะโอ้ยมึงเล่น
Sushi
มึง
Boys
คิดเยอะ
got
เกิน
control a lot. Usually lent over towards C. So you'd be
โด
expecting
นยิงแล้วนะกูบอกเลยโดนยิงอะไอ้เหี้ยเข้ามา
Oh,
Andy's so paranoid though.
this is the thing, isn't it? You can either set yourself up for success or lead yourself to failure.
Spike planted.
And now Sushi Boy's gonna creep around this line. Andy just has to make sure he sets his focus in the
สาม
right
สองหนึ่ง
position. He's gonna look to
ตาม
to the line. He's given the information away in Sushi Boy's
ไอ้เหี้ย
Oh man, you feel for Andy in that moment. You feel for JFT, who did everything.
พี่ก็ดี
right.
ค
It
รับ
felt like they had all of the ingredients in the pot, but unfortunately, they left the stove on for a little bit too long and got cooked.
Yeah, and it's a burning taste that remains as well for JFT when you consider that 2 of these rounds
คนยิง
have
คน
gone
เก่า
down to the
อะ
wire and what you might
แต่ไอ้เหี้ยนีออนวิ่งมันเลยนะ
know, right? The one
ไอ้เหี้ย
versus
นีออนวิ่งมันจัดนีออนวิ่งมันจัดไอ้เหี้ยกูบอกเลยมันจริงไอ้เหี้ยเนี่ยวิ่งมันเลยวิ่งมันคนเดียวเลยไอ้เหี้ย
At the moment, but when it comes down to that 1 versus 1, just to swing out into a dry line,
มันคิดเยอะเลย
by the operator of
มันคิด
Sushi
เยอะเกิน
Boys,
จริง
and I
อ่ะ
would be
JJ
expecting
Look,
the
what's up, bro?
your JFT, you know, on the back of this one. I think they
Coach
really need to
Kiss.
have a discussion on just how to kind of get back onto this attacking
ไอ้
side.
เหี้ยไอ้โอ้โหสโมเกอร์ไอ้เหี้ย
What a change up though. Like you do sort of feel for JFT in this position, I suppose. You know, putting one of their impact players into the coach role definitely is something you don't want to be dealing with. But
ไม่
it is
ทำ
what
ไม
it
อะ
is, and you know they're at least putting a couple of rounds up on the board.
สกินเพย์ทูรู้ไหมครับบางสกินมีครับ
Actually, getting John Olsen up on that operator line nice and early with the progressive.
เคยเล่นเกมแล้วมันรู้สึก
smoke,
แปลกๆไหมครับ
as
ทั้ง
well,
ที่
just
เฟรมก็
really
เท่าๆกัน
interesting
เหมือนแมตช์อื่น
importantly.
ไม่
We've
นะค
got
รับ
this still remaining repetitive
จีบสามศูนย์
1
เฮ้ย
versus
ทำ
1
ดี
round as well that JFT haven't really tried to get in front of too often.
ไม่
Right, so
วิ่ง
they're
ไซส์อย่างกับเวนเทียนเหี้ยจริง
putting out prowlers and such.
เฮ้ยวันเวย์มึงโอ้โหน้อง
Happy to get out now. Popping the nebula, giving themselves the space, leaning around for the rotation. But again, you know, just how FULLSENSE have been so quick to get into these extremities, Komodo. You know, JFT is still on the back foot.
Yeah. They do wait out the smokes. though,
JFT
so they
Australia.
have a couple of
JFT
forwards
Australia.
facing in towards C. But do you still opt to navigate over towards here? You have to be careful of that door opening up again because you've got no idea what's happening around the B side.
See
of
now,
the map. You
see.
don't know
Hello,
yourself.
Decker.
You've lost control of A lobby as well.
Blocking vision.
The Prowler already destroyed too. Leviathan here.
Man,
30 seconds left.
the timing on these smokes.
อันนี้เขาแข่งแยกห้องไม่แยกห้องครับแยกห้อง
Stalling upon stalling every single time.
We've got to go now. Going to be all that reliance on Andy with the Vandal here. Leviathan is going to be tagged up. Fire metal. Andy to find that frag. So 14 seconds. They've still got to get this spike planted. He's in position as well from the waterfall. But Andy does get another. But again, they've got to make sure they take down Fox.
wow.
Because look
Fox
at his
bad.
work that the man is doing. And John Olsen's here. He's bought him enough time. But Mirza won't let him overheat. Won't let him take too much. Fox down to 13 points of HP. Looking to pick up the operator here. This should be around going the way of JFT, but again, you know, Sushi Boys, the impact on these retakes, he's been so far across the other side of the map, but always shows up on time. Never late, never tardy.
สวย
In
ฟอ
position,
ก
Fox holds the line, and so low, but still secured. Mirza goes for it,
Done
goes
it.
for the lead.
โดนเด้
15 HP, but he's done it again. The big man on the breach. He's strong,
Wait,
he's
wait.
sharp, he's handsome,
หลักหลายหลุด
and he's got a
ฮัลโหล
full
พี่
finish.
หลักหลายหลุดพี่
For FULLSENSE.
These rounds are getting to the wire so many times. 1v1s, 1v2s, and 2v2s that are just slipping by the wayside for JFT. The weaponry and the possession of them as
โชว์
well.
โชว์เสี่ยวเลย PTT บอกเสี่ยวเลย
For Icana, pulling out utility.
เสี่ยวๆเลยครับ
Timing straight into the barrel of that operator as well. I mean, you're not leaving yourself much breathing room when you have 20 seconds before you go for an execute, when you've got the fast rotations available as well from John Olsen on the Neon, where he sprints it over, and he does
ไอ้ที่นี่ฉลาดมากเลยปะ
in
ฟอกอะ
amongst the mix too.
เล่นเหลือหนึ่ง
Really
กิฟต์ออฟ
well played
ฉ
and
ลาด
coordinated once more.
เล่น
from
โคตรดีอะ
FULLSENSE, who are just absolutely
เพราะเราเล่นเหลือหนึ่งอะเรายังไงนัดเดียวก็ตายเว้ย
Fox, the
เราก็ต้อง
impact
สวนมันกลับ
he's
ด้วย
been
นัดเดียวอะ
having in this series, and look at the pace pick
โคตรดี
up
อะ
now, Komodo. Straight
Yeah.
through mid, straight through C, all this control, and they're going to hear the orb immediately already. You can tell that PTC wants to pop straight through this dark cover, but instead they're going to hit the side. They're going to take that limited position, but it's not going to matter when PTC's got the aim. He's clicking the heads. Andy, Raman, 2 impact members already down for the
Spike
count.
planted.
The whole of FULLSENSE squads here as well. Rolling Thunder, Cosmic Divide available. A counter Nightfall for sure. But you can afford to wait that out.
Such a big investment here as well from Akana, you know, in this low position. It is only
Dawn.
round 11. They've still got another round to play with. And look at how close they are up and towards position. The Seas is good. Does it hold them for long enough, though? I don't know, because that Rolling Thunder, it might just be enough time for them to hold on. Say, has let 1, 2, and 3 through. Say, the coach, the man, the myth, the one that they relied upon. He looks into the face of adversity,
Last
doesn't get
round in
shaken,
the half.
doesn't get stirred, and instead holds his nerve. and will take the round for JFT when they
อย่า
never
คิดว่า
should
กู
have
เคย
found
เป็น
it.
คนแล้วกูติ่ม
There's a reason why Omen is cloaked in mystery in the lore of
เดี๋ยว
Valor.
กูทิมโชว์แม่งหมดเลยใช่ไหมบอก
Lurks from beyond and finds you
แม่งใจเย็นจัดส่งเป็นโค้ดว่ะ
They don't even clear
ส่งเป็นโค้ดเว้ยส่งเป็นโค้ด
he just absolutely
ใจ
underpins
เนี้ย
him with 4 kills at the back of it. Finally, an answer back
ปัก
from
กี้สวัสดี
JFT
ครับ
when they get
จุ๊
into
ดๆสวัส
a
ดีครับ
post-plant scenario. But my oh my,
เล่นดี
the difference that it could have been if the rounds went JFT
เล่นดี
way,
เล่นดี
that
เล่นดีเล่นดีเล่นดี
propel them in towards this last round to gather a fifth.
It's not different though, Komodo. Look at John Olsen. He's hungry. He's out for
เดี๋ยว
blood.
จะให้ลาจิสวัสดีครับเป็นไงบ้าง
They will go 1 for
ไม่
1.
รู้นานเลย
Not too bad. This
อันนี้แข่งทัวร์อะไรครับ
beyond
อันนี้แข่งทัวร์เซนชั่นครับ
definitely changes up the pace here because
ไม่เช็คว่าเพราะว่าโดนอันตี
towards this Nebula.
เฮ้ย
They're inside.
บีทปล่อยอันตีแต่ว่าโดนจับขาไงโดนจับขาก็เลยไม่คิดว่าจะมีใครเล่น
Super careful. Obviously, it's just the sheriffs though left now, right? There's no.
กูรู้แล้วนะภาพเฉยไหนแล้วนะภาพมันไฮไงมันไฮจริงเนี่ย
And they're holding it nice to JFT. A position not left unchecked. Really great patience. Just how close. A testament to these rounds.
สวัสดีครับลักกี้
Finishing,
ฮัลโหล
right? 1 or 2 alive. Economy a fickle thing for full sense. Now, finally at the end of the stretch of this first half, this is where it gets the
ไม่
better
เอา
of
ให้
it.
เลยอ่ะ
How far up into position they can get. This is the thing though, the choke point. Either
โอเค
side.
ได้อยู่
Sushi boys. I was going to say narrowly missed a couple of
Lockdown.
shots.
Right.
That's enough for the lockdown, exactly right, because Fox has
Last
found the
player
frag, but
standing.
they've destroyed the lockdown. Fox now in the 1v2, has a long way to go. Spike still yet to be planted.
น้ำภาพมันต้องไฮอยู่แล้ว
Mitch, Mirza does have the not dead
กู
yet.
ชอบบอกน้ำภาพมันไม่ได้ตะโกนแต่มันไฮแบบจังหวะเวอร์มันก็เวอร์ให้เราอ่ะ
Not only just
มันมันนะเว้ย
now the Fox is here, he can throw a spanner in the works.
They've just got to hold together, hand in hand.
คือกูรู้ว่าหนัง
Got
ผี
the
เฮีย
info for free. Definitely a lucky situation for them to be found.
สวยไง
15 seconds, still need to get that spike planted. Absolutely, he's got to be able to find one too.
10 seconds left. Spike planted.
Spike down. Control.
เข้าลีกตัน
Looking to be
12 ทีม
found.
ครับนะท่าวะ
And it will be okay. You don't even need to overdo that one, to oversell that one. It's just the fundamentals, it's just the basics. And it's enough for Mirza to secure the 3K. JFT, look, they've got a long way to go, Komodo, but they're
7 ถือว่าเยอะไหมก็โอเคนะ แต่ว่า
I do want Khan is going to be able to transition quickly.
แน่
enough
มาก
to
ขึ้น
make
มา
the
วันศุกร์
challenge
ขา
known
มาวันศุกร์
over
นี้ครับ
at that rotating door.
กดติดตามมา
So
2 ครั้งแล้ว
they might
แปลก
shift into a big retake for JFT.
ไม่เผื่อบางคนดู
where
อยู่
you
แล้วก็แบบ
haven't invested into a lot of this utility to actually try
โอ้ย
and mount a successful retake.
ๆกับบางคนจุ่มอยู่หรือเพิ่งเข้ามาดูหรือดูทุกวันแต่แบบลืมกดติดตามมันมีไงก็เลยฝากนิดนึงนะ ฝากกดกันหน่อยนะครับ
Rotation will take a bit, but they can do it with the
OCE
advantage.
ย่อมาจากแบบโอเชียเนียครับ
Also have to
ก็คือออสเตร
clear
เลีย
all the spawn as well, because you don't actually know if there's a straggler for full sense coming in towards the lurk of B. They've taken complete side control of Gavel.
Oh, they've got to clear this, surely. They surely should have the information that Mirza would be able to send that back, but it's okay. They do get the trade out. Say gets another as well, so it's back to a
ออสเตรเลียดูไม่คุย
3-on-2.
กันเลยอ่ะ
They do have that control to get back in towards the site. The momentum is behind them, but they can't overlook Fox inside this position of waterfall. They're going to get all the audio cues, all of that information as they start to flood in towards the site. They are going to get the ruse down, the dark cover as well, straight in towards that defuse as well.
Howdy.
Saves onto it. It's half tick. Sushi Boys will be able to find him, but Say, he's sticking it.
Howdy.
He's sticking it. And will he be able to find
Howdy.
him? He absolutely will. And Mirza to clean up the round as well with the back.
แม่ง
the back
จุ่ม
three
เลยว่ะ
goes. Pistol round.
แม่ง
Goes
จุ่ม
away
ยาวเลย
to
ว่ะแชมป์
just like it did in the opening Komodo, but they have to now put the back to back and string these rounds together.
ผมไม่มีติดต่อไว้แต่ต้องขึ้นมาดูครับ เฮ้ยนี่ตารางน้องชาย
You can praise full sense for gathering complete control of the site. Yes, you do lose PDC overwards, but you take the space, you start to take the control, you catch JFT off guard as John Olsen, but then stuck between a rock and a hard place to get back into the site. A disadvantageous scenario as well for that post for full sense. And, I mean, another round, Mitch, where there's only one player alive at the end.
ปืนพกไม่ไหว
Doesn't incentivize full sense to go for the force.
ปืนพกไม่ไหว
It's
จริ
just
ง
going to be a couple of upgraded pistols,
Oh,
but they're into B immediately.
absolutely the pressure that they must be feeling already, right?
เออแต่ผม
Saves
บี
has
เลย
got
วะ
the judge, they've got the site control, they can look to get the spike planted. They just need to make sure they retake this cleanly.
มีตันมามีเหรอ
We've got full control around the site at the moment. But it is just these lesser weapons and not too much utility to rely upon Bar Fox.
Time to go. Time to get moving. Andy, he's made the call. He's made the momentum move and the shift. John Olsen, one, not the second. Say, we'll find it. Akana, another. And now they're just inside main. There is a large wrap coming out from PTC here. It's a long way from home, and I don't think there's going to be enough. The Grappler will be able to take them off, so it's okay. But they've got the info. They've got that fight.
ไม่ได้วะ
And it's going to be another round. Back
ไม่
to
มี
back
ปืนมันก็อย่างนี้แหละ
They've broken the curse, 4 alive. And they will be going strong into this bonus.
น่าใช่น่าใช่
Put some emphasis on Mirza getting one step closer to the not dead yet as well. Making sure that if you do go in for a retake,
มี
you've
พา
got
ดิ
the
มอวัน
availability.
ซื้อดีมันจัด
Full sense
อยากไปดิมอวัน
though,
มึงอยากไป
explaining
ดิมอวัน
already
มา
that
ละ
this fast-paced nature is
ราชาโมงเช้าอยู่เฮ้ยบ่ายโมงแล้วนะมึง
JFT who have been with the weaponry scenarios at the moment a little bit more impactful, right? Player advantage in the pistol. This time just complete weapon advantage. Exploiting the fact that if we get a different scenario of guns for full sense, is it actually going to be a bit of a retake now for JFT? A little bit of extra credit for full sense. You got Leviathan. Another different look for full sense. A control this time. And once more, how quick is John Olsen getting up?
ทำไมถึงเรียกราชากันเหรอครับเพราะเก่งใช่ไหมครับใช่ครับคือจริงๆมันมาจากราชาร้านเหล้าครับมันคือคำว่าราชาของพี่ตาลมันมาจากร้านเหล้าเลยราชาร้านเหล้าราชาลีโอ
Yeah, I mean, for full sense, not
เป็นที่ว่าต้องใช้พลังเนี่ยมันจะต้องใช้อะไรเหรอใช้ใจครับ
towards the site, so they do have to flood with numbers together.
Look at this. This is so scary. Straight inside the room, they're up so close. They've got to make sure they do all the right things, and that's John Olsen popping through, getting two. Andy will be able to get the trade, will be able to get the response, but now he's up against the back of a wall, and it is going to be the team fully overwhelming, full sense in complete synergized form, making sure they're peaking together and they win out the bonus.
No gaps for air at the moment when these rounds begin, is there? It's really quick from full sense to get into 3 different sites immediately with 3 different plants, right? JFT are there for the challenges, for the fights on these.
ลาก3ตัวได้พี่ตาทำอะไรเฮีย
Play just still repeating itself for full sense. Are they just recognizing the fact that, all right, now we've got the weaponry, we go in, we get these plants. You don't really have too much stall ability.
ใช่ก็ไม่เข้าใจทำไมแพ้ปุ๊บบ่อยมากเลย
Right? Your Caesars, they'll be disrespected.
Ronaldo.
They'll be disrespected. A-Rebel control yet again for full sense, and I mean, they will get pushed back. So actually, a little bit of a different taste, a little small.
แต่ JFT ไม่มีตัวกันเลยเว้ย
It's needed. You can't be drinking the same drink over and over again. Gotta make sure you try out new things, Komodo. So they'll
I
set.
like the work from PDC.
Absolutely.
It's all down to timing though, Mitch.
คิดถึงเอเยจะคิดว่าเอเยไปนาจีไหมมันจะมีคนเอามันอยู่อ่ะคำถามอ่ะ
Lots of utility down on towards the site.
ตอบยากเลยว่าเอเย
So let it simmer. It's gonna say a little freeze in time.
เฟกซี
because it's been such a
เฟกซีตีเอเยคุ้นๆเลยอ่ะไอ้สูตรเนี้ย
JFT now they're actually realizing the fact that it's going to go back over towards the A site. Mercer can hold the line. It's John Olsen and he misses the shot out on, and another post plant scenario for full sense.
Yeah, they're going to set it up well. It's a really awkward one here because look at Ramen. Ramen might actually be able to find John Olsen, and already in position. Say's up close. This is doable potentially.
It's such a hard retake for JFT. You've got Say available with the smokes, but you've got no ultimates to rely upon getting into the back of this one. You've got a full post plant set up for full sense. You've still got those grab walls available for PDC. You've got a paranoia for Leviathan. You've also got Fox with an aftershock. I mean, this is just utility layering for full sense available.
Yeah, so well set. Look
ของเยอะจังที่อันนี้เทนมียังไงก็ไม่ได้ไอ้เหี้ย กูบอกเลย
one back, but there's more to find.
โอ้โห
trying to get on
พ่อมึงอะไรเยอะแยะไปหมด
They
น่ะ
just keep this spike occupied. They just keep this going. Andy on the line, but he's taken out by Fox. Now they can get onto the defuse and Akana. Okay. But they're going to line up in the end. Unfortunate situation, but full sense played that to absolute perfection, Komodo, and they can take a bow for their ninth
ของบน
round.
แบนเยอะจัดฟูเซน
3 rounds in a row. The successiveness for full sense is getting into these sites really quickly on the back of John Olsen, getting a plant and switching for a post plant. Yes, they didn't necessarily win all of the rounds, but this time when they're met with a bit of a challenge over at the beginning, they change it up and they deploy a lurk in the mix, right? John Olsen, nowhere near the party, being a distractor, so it's just showing the full sense. Not only are they recognizing how these rounds are supposed to be won, but they're with the flip of a switch able to change it up and keep JFT on their toes. JFT now, they're in the scenario where this could beat her away from them.
โอ้โห
Bad start. Good little trade. So getting over the rubble, getting over the mound. John Olsen, those found Mercer in the exact same position as they try to kind of diversify their approach, but it's completely denied. And now Andy's stuck. He does manage to recover the
โอ้โหเล่นโคตรดีอ่ะ
I would have loved to have seen this aggression and mound on a rifle round from JFT just to get the space, right? To change it up.
ข้อดีกันมากเลย
One-dimensional in gathering a rubble
มันคลีนว่ะ
time and time again.
จบแล้วเรียนโทรต่อจุดๆด้วย
Now you're
สู้
giving
ๆมันถือว่าดี
to full sense to
เรากำลัง
adjust
สร้างอนาคตให้ตัวเองครับ
see
อย่าไปเครียด
the sort of
เต็ม
same
ที่กับมัน
utility structure at the beginning of another round.
เพราะหัวบวมเนี่ย
and see if they can clear anything here.
ต้องยอมบวมเลยนะเนี่ยจังหวะนี้แต่วันนี้ฟ็อกกิ้งอยู่นะ
how they reapproach here. They're not going to be too upset with
สวัสดี
losing
พี่
this
จ๋า
one.
จันมีนสวัสดีครับไม่ได้คุยนานเลย
Has been shifted up well. I
Swaddy,
think,
mate.
you know, the way that they're kind of trying to change up how they put their pace out, put their feelers out each round. It's hard to read for JFT.
ขึ้น10แล้วนะครับ
which are like winnable,
Double digit แล้วนะ
and resettable too, with how the economy has gone and backwards and forwards and how many kills have been collected. You look how close JFT were in the previous round,
Okay.
Mitch. Just on the back of all these kills collected, everybody died at the end of it because Leviathan won the
ไม่ได้มา
one
จะ
versus
ไป
two at the
จั
end.
ก็
but
ส
they're
บาย
not
ดีหาไม่ได้มา
So there's been so many different moments
Ui,
where
nó hẳn ạ,
JFT
tông này à?
could have potentially gathered lead, could have gotten one step
เดี๋ยว
closer
จะ
to
ขึ้น
a
เล่า
reset.
เลยครับเฟน What's up
Just
ผม
haven't been able to hit the nail on the head yet.
Such a strong team in full sense, right? You know, we've seen it throughout this competition so far in their opening maps.
แพ้พิโรดเหรอ
And
เทียบ
that's
ที่
why they're put
ทีมประเทศอะไร
as
ครับ
one of
อ
the
อสเตรเลีย
stronger
ครับ
teams inside this competition as we know it. And they want it desperately. They want to get back to that tier 1 stage, to VCT Pacific. But again, JFT, they're within reach.
Oh, different look this time for full sense. We're going to get that
สวัสดีครับ
mound control
ไปแล้ว
established with a little bit of territory.
สวัสดีครับ
on the
ไปแล้วครับ
from
ได้เหรอ
Sushi Boys, but
ลัฟ
once
ฟี่
more, JFT
สวัสดีครับ
go back
เจอกัน
to
นะครับ
comfortable scenarios, right? It's gathering the same main control.
ทางร้านไทยทีตอนไหนครับทางร้านไทยทีเดือนหน้าครับ
You're not running something like a
ทีมเป็นนักหัวบ้างเหรอ
take with
เกาหลีครับ
protection back towards the spawn of Seaside.
FS ทีมไทยเหรอ ใช่ครับ
really just need to give it completely up.
ใช่ช่วงนี้อากาศไม่ค่อยดีด้วยเดี๋ยวก็ฝนตกเดี๋ยวก็ร้อนอะไรก็ไม่รู้ระวังภูมิแพ้กันด้วยจริงครับจริงระวังไม่สบายกันด้วยนะ
Completely sacrifice him in a retake.
Such a tough retake. All coming through spawn as well. So it is going to be well read, I think, by full sense. They can slot back into their positions nicely now.
Let's see. You're going to have some good abilities come in.
มาดูรีเทคกันหน่อยมั้ย
Drop that knife for Mirza. What do you got for us here with Raman's utility to back you up?
Oh, John Olsen getting trapped away, but inside
ไม่มีใครเช็คคุยเลยเลยเข้ามาอย่างนี้ก็โดนอีกวะน้อง
one in and amongst the chaos though, and Fox now looking to peek
โดน
forward.
ดีนายอีก
They're
ไอ้
being
เหี้ยโคตร
thrown
เศร้า
back
เลย
into the
สัตว์
inside spawn. Are they even wanting to take this at all? No, they don't want it. They don't want a single bar of it. And even crossing out through defender side of spawn is going to be challenging because you've got Leviathan there through the waterfall.
ไม่ไหวของจริง
To the virtue right now, then Fox peeks in.
ไอ้เหี้ย
Yeah, I don't know. JFT, they pull the plug, but unfortunately they get sucked back down the drain anyway.
ไม่ไหว
Full
ไม่ไหว
sense, just recognizing that it is going to be a full barrage coming out through spawn as well, right? They dodged the fault line that goes through waterfall. It is spotted out that no one's actually coming there because John Olsen has the complete
Anti-Fox
control.
counter
As soon
สวย
as
จัด
Andy is dispatched on the site, it's full focus on
13
towards
8 แล้ว
spawn
เมื่อ
location, and it just really does shut JFT out. One
จบไวไหมจบไวดีรอบนี้
gameplay from JFT
ดู
is
ทรง
not going to be
ไทย
a
ทั้งดีมา
decisive
ไทยทั้งดี
factor
นะครับ
in how you win these rounds against full sense.
เทียร์2มี2-1อย่างเมื่อวานมั้ง
Strategies upon backup strategies in the space that they gather completely around the map.
They have to almost play for overtime at this point, right? It would take a miracle to win out a round like this. They've got all the ultimates, but they'd have to invest them and take the risk in the
อ๋อก็ใช้
overtime.
ชื่อเนื้อปะโดนกินฟรีๆเลย
It's
อะ
time for PDC.
อร่อยเลย
I mean, he's respecting the smokes over at the A
For
side
sure.
of things as the rest of the team goes in towards Mound.
Not a bad pick. Great start there. Ramen
ผู้
finds
เส้น
John
ให้
Olsen,
ที
gives them a
วัน
little
ศุ
bit
ก
of
ร์ครับ
breath
วัน
of
ศุก
fresh
ร์
air.
จบวันนี้ชนะก็วันศุกร์แล้ว
Do they overextend?
No.
Because an overstep here would be detrimental in this round. Andy has popped the overdrive, so he kind of wants to. He's just not going to be able to.
Risk,
ยาว
isn't
มาก
it?
ยาวมาก
Yeah. You can just see that they're so tempted. Like,
บูมเป็นเมย์
run out,
ของเมื่อวาน
move on, out of
โด
steam,
นตบ
out of
ยับแล้ว
juice.
เตรียมตัวไปนอนต่อละเชล
Yeah, but the rifle should be
Chill,
retrievable a
huh?
little bit later on in the piece, and you do have a rolling thunder.
กี่โมงครับ
still
ต้องรอดู
with
ตาราง
Mirza
ครับ
holding on to that not dead yet. You can fashion a bit of a retake when you get the
สุก
idea
เสร็จ
that
ก็ชิ
things
งวัน
are
นี้เลยถ้ารออะไร
going
อ่ะ
to come towards this A site for full sense. I just do wonder
แท้ๆไปอีก
how
ก็
will you overwhelm
เรื่
the
องฟูได้ไหม
lockdown
พี่
that
จีมันตอบ
Sushi
ยาก
is
ครั
going
บ
to get from this
ตอบยาก
round.
เลยมันดูไม่รู้เรื่องเลย
They're trying a different approach completely.
30
All
seconds
members snaking their way through mid and
บูม
B.
ยับเว้ยเจอ
They're
พี่
going
จี
to
เข้า
wrap
ไป
the
ใครก็
whole
ยับ
way
อ่ะ
around because with 25
Yeah,
seconds,
well,
they're giving a lot of
do it
respect
now,
here, full
yeah.
sense.
Oh,
But now
there's
they've got
the
the info
alarm
on the
bell.
flank.
This is going to be an absolute brawl over at Rebel with this lesser weaponry for JFT in the line up for PDC, but the trades, Mitch, the trades are still here.
Absolutely, it's a big thing with the
Check,
knockdown.
mate,
Yeah,
mate,
now
check.
he has to get offensive. He has to get
No,
confident. They've
mate.
got to clear Sushi Boys. They have to
Leave
make sure
it
they find this
good.
information, but the Prowler doesn't quite connect with it. 3 versus 3. Spike down.
ชิวอะ
Arrow Swarm
ชิวมากเลยวันนี้คือแบบไม่ดูเดือดเลย
to
อะ
give them the extra space, and there's that lockdown. They have to fight.
ป้อม
Skirmishes. They have to
ครับ
go in and try to burn it down. But Fox's position is absolutely elite. What the flip from Andy, the twist on the head, they can destroy the lockdown now, but are they going to be able to secure the frag? Yes, they will! How have they walked away with that? Andy, the wrist broken on the flick, the destruction of the lockdown and the retake.
หน้าผ้ามันพลาด
That's a round
เยอะ
where we
ว่ะ
said a risky
Good luck.
investment was necessary, but they managed to convert it, JFT, and they live on.
opening kill in the very beginning, and you don't need to see the open A site for FULLSENSE. You don't need to see it broken down, right? So it is a free plant for them. Cosmic Divide invested, and then I'm looking at Sushi Boys. I'm thinking, all right, you're going to get the lockdown. You're going to set your team up for a post plan. You're going to take the space around the site and play Protector. He's throwing the bloody kicks and sink at them, and they've just shattered it with a golden hammer in the round. JFT in numbers, they fashion forward.
อิโมจิจัด
No, they're still in this one. They stave off 12 for FULLSENSE, who do have another gun round just by merit of all these rounds in succession.
So it's that rubble control again. FULLSENSE again, only one way away from taking it to 12. They're going to approach breakable this time. JFT are pretty set up here, Komodo. Going to do some good damage. Ramen actually managing to clear John Olsen. That's a great win condition there. Sushi Boys need to pop through, but again, it's so much time, so much pressure. Say gets 1 and 2. Ramen also able to secure another one, but PTC still alive, still in a clutch position. 1v4. Is able to secure one, can get the spike and can get out of there as well. So that's going to be an A-site plant. He can set himself up for success as best as possible.
He's got 3 stars to be able to play with as well. So if he can isolate a couple of these jewels, might actually be able to win this one up for him, where JFT are grouping together in numbers. You can technically rely on Ramen's Rolling Thunder if you want to, but
oh my god.
You don't really want to in this position. This is huge for PTC though.
Yeah.
He might luck into something. Oh.
My word. What a moment that would have been for PTC.
Oh my god!
Throughout this competition as well, Komodo. His clutch potential has been perfect, him and alongside Leviathan. But it doesn't happen here. JFT secure 9. And what's the money looking like for FULLSENSE? It's good.
Yeah, PTC always in this situation of helping his team, setting them up for success, whether it be fault lines and flashes or dizzies and moshes, clearing space for the squad, right? He's not generally the one that is in the full front focus, but when you put him in a situation like that, it certainly gets close. The touch that he has in a roster such as this, I mean, there's a reason why you look towards him as being, you know, the brains of the operation when it comes to this squad. Him and John Olsen, the oldest fellas, you know, been around for so long. You know, we were talking about it, the other day, right? John Olsen, for example, is not really a player you would expect to be on a star duelist role. You tend to see the old guard on these IGL roles to be able to make the decisions from all of the historical information that they've been able to play on and just the experience.
Yeah, now for sure.
มึงพูดได้หลายยาวเลยจัดเป็นคุย
put him on the killjoy.
เมื่อกี้เหมือนชื่อคิดเพราะว่าทีมงานเขาเปลี่ยนไม่ทันครับ
Reliability, because I feel like, you know, obviously John Olsen's shown good signs on the jet over the period of time, but the Neon has really kind of worked out for him with these recent changes and the recent kind of meta shift.
Yeah, just a bit of a pause, have a discussion at this point in time. I think JFT having a good resurgence at the later stages of this half is a little bit concerning for FULLSENSE now that a lot of these rounds are still coming down to the wire in these 1vx scenarios in the remainder. FULLSENSE that the structured game plan that they've been going with JFT are starting to get space around the map. They're starting to isolate John Olsen, who's going in front of the team. So I think you're really that's exactly what they're doing at the very beginning.
จำได้มีไก่แดงอะฝาดที่แล้วจะกินซีเรียลครับโคโค่ครับ
Over towards B. He popped the overhead, spotted.
Oh no.
And he actually gets away with 1-2. That's massive from John Olsen. You talk about kind of keeping him on a little bit of a leash, but it's only for half a second. As he's taken all control of that B side.
But it's all a fake, it's all a ruse, because the engagement over at the A site, it's not the eventual intention, but it does make things a lot easier for retake scenario.
You thought he was going to clear it. He was going to turn on a dime and get on a swivel, but it just doesn't happen. It kind of does manage to get one, but I think this is just a safe. This one, you have to let FULLSENSE go to 12 and try fight the fight into overtime. But, you know, 3 rounds of difference, JFT, this is where the wheels might start to fall off. FULLSENSE looking strong into that round.
แพ้ปืนทอง
At this point in time as well,
ขอความคิดเห็นเกี่ยวกับการที่เรายิงแล้วฝีมือดรอปบ้างดีบ้างก็มีครับมีวิธีแก้ไหมครับเล่นให้เยอะครับการที่เราจะมีฟอร์มดรอปก็เป็นเรื่องปกติครับเพราะเราก็เป็นมนุษย์ครับเราจะท็อปฟอร์มตลอดเวลาไม่นานครับเจอประเทศอะไรครับเจอออสเตรเลียครับ
But you're exactly right. This is that save round. This is FULLSENSE finally meeting themselves on 12.
JJ easy for FULLSENSE bro
Ability of FULLSENSE Komodo. Something we've talked about.
ไม่มีใครตึงมือFULLSENSEเลยอ่ะ
need to make sure they find it, need to make sure they secure it, and that's exactly what
ตึ
they've
ง
done
มือ
here.
ถูกไว้ดีจีอ่ะแบบไอ้บอกอ่ะ
They
แค่นั้นเลย
time for half a second, right? They don't make sure they send them out straight away. John Olsen holds it for 5 more seconds, finds that B control, finds sight, and able to turn the round on its head straight away.
I mean, I just want to highlight as well in this map that JFT
Oh,
has
put them
fired
down.
both pistols. Yes, the second round in the first half went the other way. But, majority of the rounds that you predicate on a pistol victory, you're seeing full sense run with these rifles. Really be clean with them.
Has Andy found that? This has happened again though. He's popped the
Yeah,
overdrive already, and he's keen to go for it this time. Will he be able to connect with anything? No, Leviathan gets one, but Akana gets in the trade, but traded out again. That's the information, they get the advantageous pick, but then they maybe overheat just a little bit.
PDC has completely been able to clear this site though. He can take a really forward line to take a challenge against Mirza when it might not be expected, but the gun is at least in possession. Mirza, he knows that this position is vulnerable. They expect PDC already here in the spawn. That's significant damage though, Mitch.
Absolutely. Just the fact that they've been able to clear that frag is massive for them, allows them an opportunity to get back into this 3-on-3 because it's the last chance, the last opportunity, and Fox is already going to be able to find one. Drops the fault line too. The rolling thunder will come out from Raman. Does actually manage to catch Fox, but for how long? He's dropped back into tree. He's given himself this additional time. They've got the aftershock, but that's basically it. Now they have to try and pop these ruses, try and pop this position and get through. Mercer's going to be able to force his way in, but inside the nanos will be Sushi Boys going down and into this 1v1. How quickly is he going to be able to look at it? Quickly enough. That's Fox, and he is the king in amongst the server right now, taking the win for FULLSENSE. The second team to be going to Britama Arena facing off against in that upper bracket final, Komodo.
Yeah, really well done from them. I think the biggest credit is just how fluid they were around the maps in both of them, right? Finding the space time and time again, a gap to be exploited for JFT, which in the first series, I mean, we saw some weaknesses for JFT in that sort of scenario, but really just